So, dear students, I welcome you all in the class of analog and digital communication subject. Okay, so in the last class we had started our introduction on frequency modulation, and today we will continue with that discussion, and we will also again briefly revise the concept of frequency modulation, which we discussed in the previous class also. Okay, so let us continue. So this is what I told you in the last class. I told you that in the frequency modulation, the frequency of the carrier is varied in accordance with the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. Okay, so I hope you remember the concept of amplitude modulation, where amplitude was varied. And now you can see here in the frequency modulation, the frequency is changing, whereas the amplitude of the carrier is remaining constant. This is your frequency modulation. Now, if we look at the mathematical expression of your FM signal, we need to look into its expression a bit carefully, because the derivation of FM signal expression is a bit involved as compared to amplitude modulation. If you remember, I told you that the biggest advantage of AM was its simplicity. Okay, but it was not that quality conscious or quality robust. So if we want more or better quality, we have to go to FM, that is frequency modulation, which is more complex as compared to your amplitude modulation. Okay, so let me explain the mathematical expression or derivation of your FM signal expression. So students, as I told you, in FM what happens, the frequency of the carrier signal is varied. Okay, so the carrier frequency, we know, that is initially fixed. That frequency is FC. Okay, and that carrier frequency is varied. So this second portion of this expression is the variation in the carrier frequency, and the sum of these two gives us the instantaneous frequency of your FM signal. Fine. Okay, so that's how we get the instantaneous frequency of FM wave as the summation of the carrier frequency and the variation. And this variation is also called as deviation in the carrier frequency, and we represent deviation by delta. Okay, so your carrier frequency is deviated okay, by some amount or by deviation. Okay, and this deviation is proportional to, the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. Okay, so this is what we have to concentrate on, that your frequency deviation is proportional to the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. Fine, and we know how do we define instantaneous value? That is your capital VM sine omega mt. Okay, and K is the constant of the proportionality. Fine. So this is how we define the instantaneous frequency of the FM signal. I hope all of you have been able to understand that. So this is your delta, and this is your carrier frequency. Now let us move forward. So if you look at this expression carefully again, on the deviation part particularly, so this deviation is dependent on the sine function. Okay, and we know the maximum value of the sine function is either +1 or -1. So this instantaneous frequency of FM wave under maximum deviation means when the sine wave will be either 1 or -1. So that way your instantaneous frequency under maximum deviation, it becomes like this: FC plus minus KFBM, and your sine omega mt becomes either +1 or -1. Fine. And then we define our maximum deviation delta F by the term KFB. Fine. So this is our maximum deviation. Okay. So after we have defined clearly the instantaneous frequency of FM wave, now we need to move towards the complete expression of FM wave. Okay, means the instantaneous amplitude of FM signal. Fine. So the instantaneous value of the FM signal, obviously, it will be small v FM, which is equal to Vc sine theta. Okay, in the form of sinusoidal expression only. So your Vc is nothing but the amplitude of the carrier, which remains constant, and sine theta is the general term. Okay, and we all know that theta is defined as omega t. Okay, so theta is equal to omega t. So theta is a function of you can say omega. Fine, and omega, obviously we know that omega is equal to 2 pi ft. Fine, so that way we can say that this theta is a function of omega c and omega m. Fine, so this is how we define the instantaneous amplitude of the FM signal. Fine, I hope all of you have understood this. So students, after we have looked into the general expression of FM signal, now let us move forward. So if we continue with our discussion, as we saw in the previous slide, your instantaneous value of the frequency modulated signal is Vc sine theta. Theta is equal to omega t, and your omega, or you can say that instantaneous frequency inside the sine function is a function of carrier frequency and your modulating signal frequency. Fine. So now what is our job? Vc we already know. Our job is to find this theta. Okay, so this theta we have to basically solve now. So we all know that theta is equal to omega dt integration. Okay, so if you integrate omega with respect to time, you get theta. Okay, so this omega is, as I told you, it is your instantaneous frequency. And we have seen the expression for instantaneous frequency in the previous slide. So this was our instantaneous frequency. F is equal to Fc plus Kf Vm sine omega mt. So if you substitute this here, instead of omega, we get this. Okay, so since we are using omega, that's why we are using 2 pi extra term here, and we have written Fc as omega c. Fine. So if we integrate and solve it, we get this thing. Theta is equal to omega ct plus 2 pi Kf Vm cos omega mt divided by omega. Fine. And if you again look at this expression carefully, we defined our KFVM. Okay, how did we define this? KFVM is our maximum deviation. That was nothing but your delta F, and omega m is 2 pi FM. So 2 pi in the denominator will be cancelled with 2 pi in the numerator. We'll be left with FM. Okay, so what do we have? We have theta is equal to omega ct plus delta F by FM cos omega mt. Okay, so this is the final expression for you can say theta in case of your frequency modulated signal. Fine. So now what we require is we need to substitute the value of this theta in this instantaneous amplitude of FM signal expression. So if you do that, if you put this expression, we get this. So students, this is the final expression of your frequency modulated signal, where the instantaneous frequency of your carrier signal is dependent on the or is proportional to the amplitude of your modulating signal, instantaneous voltage of the modulating signal. So if we get that, we get this expression. One thing you need to notice here, that your sine function consists of the variation with respect to your modulating signal. Okay, so those terms are inside the sine. So this cosine is inside this sine. Okay, remember this, that this sign is not multiplication with this. It is not in multiplication. Okay, this is complete sine function. So we have VFM is equal to VC sine of this complete term. I hope all of you have understood this. And the way we defined modulation index in our amplitude modulation, in the same way we will define modulation index in frequency modulation also. The concept of modulation index I have explained in detail during AM. Okay, so here in case of FM signal, our modulation index is delta F by FM. Okay, so we represent our modulation index as MF, which is equal to delta F by FM. Fine. And finally, if you substitute MF, this is the final expression for your frequency modulated signal. Okay, where this MF is modulation index. And again, I am pointing out this thing that this term is inside the sign. It is not in multiplication with sign. This is inside the sign function. This you need to remember. Okay, so I hope all of you have been able to understand the derivation of frequency modulated signal. So students, after obtaining the mathematical expression of FM signal, now let us move forward. So the way modulation index of amplitude modulation is important, similarly modulation index of FM is important. And I have already explained that modulation index gives us an idea of the percentage of the modulation. Okay, so first let us again have a look at the expression of modulation index of FM signal. So in this expression, you see we have two things. One is del F and another is FM. Okay, and del F you should remember like this. It is KFVM upon FM. Okay, so I'll write this modulation index expression again here to clarify a few things more clearly. So your MF is equal to K, your VM. Okay, then I'll write it as FC, fine, upon FM. I'll correlate this expression with what I have written in the slide also, though some of the things you are able to correlate. Fine. So students, here you see that I have defined your modulation index as delta upon FM. Fine. And what is delta? Delta is the deviation. Fine. Deviation in what? Deviation in the carrier frequency. Okay. And obviously your modulation index is a dimensionless quantity. In the numerator as well as denominator, your dimensions must be same. Okay. So that way, like if in the denominator we have frequency, so numerator should also be frequency. Very clearly. Okay. So and since delta is the deviation in what? Deviation in carrier frequency. Fine. So it means this deviation will be proportional to carrier frequency. Okay, or you can say some part of carrier frequency, some fraction of carrier frequency. Okay, and obviously that fraction will come from where? That fraction will come from your modulating signal. Okay, so simultaneously we are also saying that our deviation is proportional to the instantaneous value of the modulating signal. Fine. If you combine them together and write a proportionality constant, then you can say that your delta is proportional to your VM into FC. Fine. And if you remove this proportionality, it becomes is equal to your VM, fine, okay, into proportionality constant, that is say K, and your carrier frequency, that is FC. Okay, now we have to keep this entire dimension of the deviation equal to frequency, and frequency FC we already have. It means your VM, what is VM? It is the voltage. So your K, it should be inverse voltage, only then your KVM will give us dimensionless quantity. Okay, and then our delta will becomes your KVM FC. Fine. So here in the slide we have written KF. Okay, so this KF is nothing but this thing, your K times FC. Okay, so this KF is your K times FC. Fine. And you can interpret this as that your deviation has to be some fraction of your carrier frequency. So that's why you can write this KF as K into FC and VMB already. Okay, so this is how we define our frequency deviation. Okay, and straightforward, like whatever I have explained, that your modulation index is equal to KVM FC upon FM, which can also be written as delta F upon FM. Fine. Though I have told you that your deviation, sorry, not deviation, your modulation index is a dimensionless quantity, but it has unit, and the unit is radian. And why we define this as radian? Because this modulation index is coming inside sine. If I go back, your modulation index MF is coming inside sine. Okay, so obviously the unit of MF modulation index has to be radian. Okay, we know that the unit of theta is radian. So theta is dimensionless, but it is not unitless. Okay, so your modulation index, it is ratio of two frequencies, as I explained you. This is how your FC and FM. Fine. And another thing is that we have already talked about, that your modulation index, fine, it is proportional to modulating signal voltage. See, again, see in the numerator part. In the numerator part, your modulation index is proportional to your modulating signal voltage. Fine. When FM is constant, obviously denominator has to be constant for that. Fine. Then, if you remember the modulation index of AM, the modulation index of AM was VM upon VC. VM upon VC. So that modulation index was dependent on the voltage of modulating signal and voltage of the carrier. There was no frequency part. Whereas in case of modulation index of FM, there is dependency on the modulating signal frequency also. This is very, very important point. Okay, so if your modulating signal frequency changes, then your modulation index also changes. Okay, so in the third point, if you carefully see that, since your modulation index is a ratio of frequency deviation upon your modulating signal frequency, so if FM decreases, so if this FM decreases, obviously the value of MF will increase. Okay, so as the modulating frequency decreases, your modulation index increases, provided this portion is constant. Okay, and this will remain constant when you see here carrier frequency FC is constant, K is a constant, we are left with only VM part. What is VM? It is modulating signal voltage. So provided that modulating voltage amplitude remains constant, in that case your modulation index increases if your modulating frequency decreases. Fine. And this I have already explained to you, that it is measured in radians. Okay, and regarding the value of modulation index of FM, if you remember, in case of AM, your modulation index lied between 0 and 1. Fine. Whereas in case of your frequency modulation, your modulation index is greater than 1. Okay, so its value is greater than 1. Normally, frequency modulation we characterize as, we categorize as narrowband FM and wideband FM. So narrowband FM has modulation index near to unity, around 1. Okay, and whereas in case of wideband FM, your modulation index is greater than 1. Okay, normally you can say that modulation index is in the range of 1 to 5. Fine. So your modulation index in case of FM varies from 1 to 10. And depending on our definition, we can categorize those values as narrowband FM and your wideband FM. Fine. So if you have wideband FM, then modulation index value will be high. If you have narrowband FM, then your modulation index will be small. I hope all of you have been able to understand this. Fine. So students, after discussing the concept of modulation index, now we move to our next slide. So let us hurriedly take up one or two examples. So my purpose to introduce this example is not for the calculation purpose. I want to become familiar with the various terms again, so that you can able to you are able to appreciate what we have discussed till now. So if you look at this example carefully, what we have been given here, we have a 50 megahertz carrier signal. It means this is carrier signal frequency. We have been given voltage of 5 volt. It means this is the carrier amplitude. Okay, it is frequency modulated, means FM has been done by a sine wave of 5 kilohertz. What does it mean? That this is our modulating signal. Okay, modulating signal of the form sine wave, and its frequency of modulating signal is 5 kilohertz. Okay, and with a voltage of 2.5 volt. This is the amplitude of your modulating signal. Fine. Another thing, you notice the difference between the frequency of carrier signal and your modulating signal. Your carrier signal is having a frequency of 50 megahertz, and your modulating signal is having a frequency of just 5 kilohertz. See the difference? Okay. Then proportionality constant has been given for FM as 5 kilohertz per volt. Look at this thing carefully. What I want to show here, I want to show that your proportionality constant, that is K, the unit of K is kilohertz per volt. And what I showed you, delta, what was delta? Delta was KVM FC. I told you this one. Okay. And what is the unit of V? Unit of V is voltage. Fine. I told you unit of K. Unit of K is your what? In fact, this is your unit of KFC. Okay, unit of KFC is what? Kilohertz, or you can say frequency by voltage. Okay, so this is your hertz by voltage. Voltage will be cancelled, and your delta will remain as having the dimension of frequency, or having the unit of frequency. I hope all of you have been able to understand this thing. Fine. Okay, so this is how the unit of delta is your in the form of frequency. Fine. So you have to notice this thing. Rest of the things are nothing, but you have to substitute all these things in the formula. So this was our expression for frequency modulated signal. So we have taken VC. Instead of sine theta, we have shown here cos theta. It doesn't matter. It is just a matter of initial phase. So we have omega CT. Then we had here MF, that is modulation index. Okay. So in modulation index, we had your delta F, okay, by FM. Okay. And how much is FM? FM is your 5 kilohertz. Okay. And what is delta? Delta is your KFVM. Okay, and what is K? K is proportionality constant, which is equal to KFC, means whose unit is, you can say, kilohertz per volt. Okay, so this value of KF has been taken as 5. Okay, and your VM has been taken as 2.5. That's why we get 12.5. So if you substitute all this, you are able to get the expression for your FM signal. I hope the concept of deviation, the unit of deviation, the confusion related to proportionality constant is further clear to you. So let us see one more example, very simple one. So here also our focus is on the clarity of the terms. So what we have been given FM system where audio frequency is 500 hertz. I told you audio frequency means our modulating signal. Okay, so its frequency is given as 500 hertz. Then the voltage of audio frequency is 2.4 volt. This is nothing but your amplitude of modulating signal. Then deviation is given as 4.8 kilohertz. Now see, this is deviation is given. Deviation means delta, and delta has the unit of frequency. That's why it is in frequency. It is not k. It is deviation. Okay. Then what we have done, we have increased the AF voltage to 7.2 volt. Then what is the new deviation? Okay, and we know the formula for your proportionality constant or deviation. So from there we can derive the value of new deviation. Okay, then your audio frequency voltage has been further raised to 10 volt. Okay, and the audio frequency means the modulating signal frequency has been decreased to 200 hertz. Then deviation has been calculated. So after calculating deviation, this numerical is calculating the values of modulation index also. Okay, so students, now let us see. In the first case, your modulating signal frequency is 500 hertz, modulating signal voltage is 2.4, and your deviation, it has been given as 4.8 kilohertz. Fine. So using this, what our objective is, we have to first find out the proportionality constant Kf, and we know your Kf is your delta is equal to Kf Vm. So Kf is equal to delta by Vm. So this is our Kf. Fine. And after calculating that, we calculate the modulation index, which comes out to be your 9.6. And in the same fashion, see, your proportionality constant for the same system, it will not change. Okay, so that's why Kf has been calculated here. This is one important point. So your proportionality constant in all the three cases will remain same. Okay, so unless you change the carrier frequency. So this Kf is same here, that is 2, and similarly Kf is 2 here, and rest of the things that you have changed, they have been taken, and accordingly your modulation indices have been calculated. In case 1, your modulation index is 9.6. In case 2, your modulation index is 28.8. In case 3, your modulation index is your 100. Fine. So I hope all of you are now more clear with the concept of proportionality constant, then modulation index, and the deviation in the modulation index. Next. So students, after we have cleared the concept of frequency modulation, now we need to look into the concept of phase modulation. Okay, and in the very beginning of this subject, I told you that we can either change the amplitude of the carrier or the frequency of the carrier or the phase of the carrier. When we vary amplitude, then frequency and phase will remain constant. When we vary frequency, then amplitude and phase will remain constant. And if we vary phase with respect to the instantaneous value of modulating signal, then your amplitude and frequency of the carrier remains same and phase varies. So when we vary the phase of the carrier signal, fine, in accordance with the instantaneous value of the modulating signal, then your phase modulation takes place. Fine. And students, you have to remember one thing, that the mathematical expression for phase modulated signal, it will be identical in some way to the frequency modulation. And why I want to say here that thing, because unless you understand that concept, you will not be able to understand the concept of PM, that is phase modulation. See, in FM, what we did, we defined sine theta. Okay, and we all know that your theta or phase part is included in this sine function only. Okay, so more precisely, it could have been written like this, say sine of omega t plus phi. Fine. Whereas this omega t plus phi is a part of sine, which means it is inside sine, it is not in multiplication. So here your omega is the frequency of this sine function and your phi is the phase of the sine function. Fine. And both omega and phi, they are included inside the sine function. Okay. One thing you have understood, that your frequency and phase, they are present inside the sine function. Okay. Second thing is, if you happen to change either frequency or phase, some change in other quantity will take place. Okay. In what way I can say that? Say you introduced some constant or say your phase is changing with time. Okay. So then since your frequency term and phase term, they are in addition. So some change in this term will bring some change here, or some change in this term may bring some change here. Okay. So that way you need to understand this thing, that your phase modulation and frequency modulation, they are correlated in some manner. Okay, and mathematically I'm trying to make you understand this thing, that your phase and frequency term, they are correlated. Fine. So that you need to basically fit into your mind, that your phase and frequency are part of sine function. Okay, now if you look at the mathematical expression of PM signal, fine. So here we again follow the same kind of line as we have done in AM and FM. Fine. So let us see. So in phase modulation, we will vary the phase. So obviously we will look into the instantaneous phase of PM wave. Okay, so here phi is the instantaneous phase, phi c is the carrier phase. Okay, the original phase of the carrier, and then this is the variation in the phase with respect to the instantaneous value of the modulated signal. Okay, we can say that this is variation in the phase, say phi dash, and your phi dash or variation in phase is proportional to the instantaneous value of the modulating signal, that is your small v. Okay, and this variation or this deviation in phase is represented here. If you remove proportionality constant, you will get a constant term. Your small vm is nothing but capital Vm cosine. Fine. And we all know that this cosine has either plus or minus as the maximum value. So under maximum phase deviation, your instantaneous phase of PM wave will be this one. So when we make cos omega mt as 1 or minus 1, then your phi becomes phi c plus minus kp Vm, where kp is your proportionality constant and Vm is the amplitude of your modulating signal. Fine. And this is nothing but your phase deviation. Okay, so even if you look at these terms carefully, they are more or less similar to whatever we have discussed in the last few slides, and even the derivation is also you can say same. So your instantaneous value of phase modulated signal is equal to Vc sine theta, and this phase variation is a part of this theta. Okay, this is also similar to your frequency modulated signal expression. Okay, I hope all of you have been able to understand that. Now we have to find out theta. So what is theta? I told you theta is nothing but omega ct plus phi. Omega ct plus phi. Fine. And what is phi? As we have seen above, your phi is phi c plus kpvm cos omega ft. Okay, so this theta is nothing but, as I told you in this slide in the beginning, that your theta is omega ct plus phi, and phi is phi c plus kpvm cos omega ft. Okay, so phi is the initial phase of the carrier, which is a constant term. Omega c is the initial frequency of the carrier, which is again a constant term, and this term gives us the variation in the phase, which is proportional to the modulating signal voltage. Okay, so I hope all of you have been able to understand this. So let us move forward. So we are proceeding in the exactly similar fashion as we did in the frequency modulated signal. So here I have reproduced the same thing as I did in the previous slide. So this is our theta. So we have to substitute this value of theta in the above expression. So if we do that, we get V phase modulated signal equal to VC into sine of. See, again and again I am pointing out this thing, that this thing is inside sine function, not multiply. So inside sine, what we have, carrier frequency part, carrier phase part, and this is the phase variation part. Okay, and this is the final expression of your phase modulated signal. And again, we need to represent modulation index for phase modulation. So if we do that, here we have KPVM as the modulation index for your phase modulated signal. Fine. So your phase modulated signal then is VC sine of omega CT plus phi C plus MP cos omega MP. Okay, where our modulation index MP is equal to delta P, which can be written as KP into VM, capital VM. Fine. So this is the modulation index of PM. So after looking at this expression, now one thing is very striking here with regard to modulation index, and that thing is that the modulation index of phase modulated signal, okay, it is dependent only on the modulating voltage. Okay, so your modulation index of your phase modulated signal depends only on the modulating voltage. There is no dependency on the modulating frequency. See, there is no FM term here as we had in the frequency modulated signal. So we can say that in case of phase modulation, your modulation index depends only on the modulating voltage and it is independent of modulating frequency. Okay, and this is the main difference between your phase modulation and frequency modulation. I told you phase modulation and frequency modulation are almost similar. Then where is the main difference? The main difference is this one. In modulation index of PM, your modulation index is proportional only to the modulating voltage and independent of the modulating frequency. Whereas in case of frequency modulation, your modulation index also depends on modulating signal frequency. Okay, so this difference you need to notice, and I have highlighted these points at the bottom of this slide, that except the way of definition of modulation index, there is no difference in your PM and FM. Okay, and under identical conditions, if the conditions are identical with respect to your carrier frequency, etc., then it is difficult to distinguish